All right, can you guys hear me? Everybody hear me? Give me a one if you can hear me now. Shalom, shalom. This is why we often don't do live. Just can't trust stuff to work properly. It's unbelievable. Glad you can hear me. Sorry about that. So, what we experienced just now was my mistake for using a Microsoft machine instead of a Nix machine. Even though it's scheduled to only do updates at 3:30 a.m. in the morning, it thought now was a great time to do an update. And so I sat there, 98% update completed for several minutes. My apologies. Fool me 28 times, shame on you. Fool me 113 times, shame on me. Just for as long as I've been around, Microsoft has just been such a shisty operating system. And but PowerPoint is nice. I gave in. I gave in, and they owned me. So my apologies to all of you for that. That's just the way it goes with that. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, so I was down in the studio half an hour early, so everything seemed okay over here. You guys all right? All right, let's go through this. Okay, today we're working on 1 Kings chapter 14, starting with verse 24. Todah lecha Adonai. All right. Oh yeah, maybe we'll do the bouncing head thing. Thank you, Betty. Yeah. I really should put the time in to move to Linux. Vegam kadesh hayah vaaretz. Vegam. And also kadesh. What is a kadesh? Kadesh is a male prostitute. And traditionally, many lexicons have said that it's like some kind of cultic temple prostitute, and a kadesha is a female cultic temple prostitute, but they're really, as pointed out by Mordecai Kogan in his commentary on First Kings, there's no scholarly evidence that any kind of cult like that existed in the land. So let's be safe and let's just go with a dedicated male, right? A male who's dedicated, presumably maybe to another god or something. So the Gam Kadesh, also the dedicated male, might have been a male prostitute. Hayah was in the eretz, the land. And it becomes aretz because of this guy here, this little the etnachta. He lengthens it. Okay. Asu. So the ayin seen hey is to do. Asu is they did. Kechol, like all, or according to all, hato'avot, the abominations. By the way, if we have an admin in the room, can you please repost it to Simchat Hashem and to Derech Yeshua groups that we can be sure that they find out about the updated link. I did not have time to do that when trying to come back in. So they'll be looking at that old link and of course, YouTube, happy to kill the stream after 1 minute, no problem. Just happy. Whereas there's other times after I've taught on Shabbat where the stream didn't die for like 12 hours. It just kept going, presumably to keep the stats down. Well, there's 9 of you here, counting me, right? So, persevered, not persevered, I don't know. It's like, okay, maybe we have 11 people viewing right now, so I appreciate the sentiment, but I'm a little bummed, It's like, I was looking forward to being here with you guys live, and then it really seems spiritual. Always something weird. This machine is not supposed to update unless it's 3:30 in the morning. That's the window I have set. And what happened? I had no control. I finally had to force it to restart with just holding the power button down. And then when I started updating, it's like Microsoft is updating. We don't care what you want. We do what we want, whatever we want. We're a big monopoly, so you just take it. It's like, oh. I remember years ago, back when I used to work as a programmer, and I had bought stock options. Well, they're called puts on Microsoft because I hated that company. They just were so diabolical, did a lot of shady things, and stole a bunch of tech. Not a lot of innovating, and I just wanted them to go down. Right? So, and I remember I bought puts on them. That means you only have a limited amount of time for it to go down, for it to tank, because there was a lawsuit. The European Union was suing them for abuse of monopoly power, which they did all the time. I mean, they crushed the V operating system just using horrible tactics. And the European Union won the lawsuit. I'm like, yes, $2 billion fine, yes. And what happened? The stock went up because people are so bright. So it's just unbelievable. So, c'est la vie. Okay. Never bet against the psychology of the stock market. Just because something is better doesn't mean it's going to win. And just because a company is evil and does all kinds of evil stuff doesn't mean that they will go down when they lose a lawsuit. It's the psychology that matters. All right, hato'avot of the abominations of hagoyim, of the peoples, the nations. Asher, which? Why do I have the hay here? Okay, so okay, it's up above. That's just a little note here for the hay. For those of you who are wondering why there's the red ah. Okay, I'm not going to go into it because those of you who have been with me for a long time, we've done it lots of times. Yeah, so horish. This is a hifil from the verbal root yarash. Yoresh shin. Yarash. Yarash, to take possession or to dispossess, depending on how it's used. So in this case, horish Adonai, whom Adonai, Asher, whom Adonai dispossessed. Mipnei. Oh, this should have been orange. Mipnei. Let me fix that. That's min, right? Amotzilacha min haaretz. Min meaning from. And the noon has gone inside. Final noon, that's what's in there. Great. You guys with me? Any comments or questions? Well, big tech, Gary, right? I mean, if there's anybody ever inviting wicked spirits among them, I don't think there's much of a competition between Facebook and Microsoft, and Google. Just they're all so evil. So mipnei, from the face of, from the presence of, b'nei, that's the banim, the children of Yisrael, Israel. Okay. How'd you guys do? I'll read through it again, but I'm not going to translate it, okay? You let me know if you didn't understand something, okay? Vegam kadesh hayah vaaretz. Asu kechol hato'avot hagoyim. Asher horish Adonai mipnei Yisrael. Also, the kadesh was in the land. They did according to all the abominations of the nations, whom Adonai dispossessed from before the children of Israel. Yeah, that's one way to think of it, Pei. Pei's thinking of it as Adonai possessing the goyim. Sure, that's not a bad thought. Yeah. Okay. Next verse. Let's see. Verse 25. Vayhei bashanah hachamishit. Okay. So it was in the shana, the year. So it was bashanah in the year the hamishit, the fifth. Melekh. So the that is to, like belonging to. The means the, and then melekh is king. So to the king. Which king? Rechavam. That's his name. To King Rechavam. Allah. Ryan Lamed. Hey. Went up. Who went up? Shishak. Shishak is an Egyptian name. Shishak. Shishak. Who is Shishak? He's melekh mitzraim. So that's the king of Egypt. Remember, when we have a construct chain like that, what can we do with our chain? Well, when the last word is definite, it imparts its definiteness to the beginning of the chain. So we can say the melekh, the king of Egypt. Against Yerushalayim, that's Jerusalem. So what's happening? Shishak, melekh mitzraim, the king of Egypt, alah, he went up, meaning militarily. And it's true, Jerusalem is elevated. It's on Mount Moriah there, right? So against, literally upon Yerushalayim. So it's fighting time. Okay, I'm going to read through again. This time try to translate before I do. This is 1 Kings 14, verse 25. Woohoo! Vayhei. So it was bashanah hachamishit. In what's the there? In the shana, in the year. Which one? The chamishit, the fifth. Lamelekh, to the king. Rechavam. That means in his reign, right? Like, the Romans would say, in such and such year of his reign, etc. Right? Pei, what's that mean? Does that mean you're buffering by you? You showed the little buffer icon? Are you buffering? Allah. Hey. Somebody went up. Who went up? Shishak. Melekh mitzraim. The king of Egypt. Against Yerushalayim. Against Jerusalem. All right, glad it's getting better. Are you in China proper now, or are you back in Hong Kong? Are you in Hong Kong? I think in Hong Kong the internet would be great. But, It is what it is, right? All right, let's continue. Verse 26. Woo! That's a big one. Hong Kong. Okay, great. That's a big one. You in the library or something? The library? Verse 26. Vayikach. So what's happening here? What's yikach? If you're looking, if you're not listening, but you're watching, you'll see there's only two white letters. Kuf and chet. So that's because the verbal form is actually lakach, lamed, kuf, chet, lakach. And that lamed is hiding. He's hiding inside of the kuf. Let me zoom in a bit. Make that a bit better. So you see that? There's a dagesh in the kuf. There's a lamed inside of it. Okay? So la kach, to take, became yilkach, became yikach. So yikach is he is taking or he will take. Vayikach means and he took. And he took. Who is this? Shishak melekh mitzraim. Shishak is taking stuff. What's he taking? We don't translate. Otzerot are like stores, like treasure troves of Beit, of the house of Adonai. That's from the temple, right? Taking the treasures from the temple. Okay, got it, Pei. What else did he take? Ve'et, Otzerot, treasure stores of Beit, the house of the melekh, the king. The king. That means the palace. So he took Otzerot Beit Adonai. So he took the treasures or the storehouses from Adonai's house, and Otzerot, treasure houses or storehouses, Beit, from the house of hamelekh, from the king's house, or the palace. Shishak is looting everybody. And this is historically accurate. This is what Egypt would do. Even before Israel, they would go and beat up on the Canaanites, and they'd take stuff and they go home. Egypt never really colonized because the Egyptians believed that Kemet, the sacred land of Egypt, was the place you had to be if you wanted to resurrect. So soldiers didn't want to be buried in foreign lands. Ambassadors didn't want to be there for a long time. They thought you had to be in Egypt. So it's nice that the Bible rings true historically. We don't really know what happened to, I think by magical box, I think you mean the Aron HaKodesh, right? The Ark, the Holy Ark, or the Aron Habrit, the Ark of the Covenant. Yeah, no one really knows where that is. There's stories that it's in Ethiopia and such, but nobody really knows. Okay. Ve'et and Hakol, the everything, the all, everything. You can almost feel the desperation of the writer here. Lakach. Ve'et Hakol, and the everything. Lakach, he took. Vayikach became vayikach, and he took et kol maginei hazahav, all of the magains, the maginim, which are shields of hazahav, of the gold. You remember there are these shields, golden shields, decorative shields that Solomon had put all around. Asher, which V'atsa, ayin sin hey, v'asa, Shlomo, Solomon. Terrible. All right. Now I'm just going to read through it, and you do your best to understand. Vayikach et otzerot Beit Adonai. Ve'et otzerot Beit hamelekh. Ve'et hakol lakach. Vayikach et kol maginei hazahav asher asa Shlomo. By the way, in Israel, the name is just Shlomo. Usually, a lot of times these vocal schwas get ignored, especially by people in Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv is like the New York of Israel. If you want something mispronounced, just go to Tel Aviv. Yeah, Harrison says, dude was jacked. I don't know. I feel so sad reading this now suddenly. I didn't expect to be impacted by it like that, but it is sad. But we deserved it at the time. All right. Verse 27. Let me see here. Okay, I think, yeah, let's do two more. I think we got time for two more. We'll do two more. Verse 27. Vayas hamelekh. And the king Assad. Oh, which king? Sorry. Rechavam. The king Rechavam, he made tachtam. So tachat is under, which is how Hebrew expresses instead of, like in place of of them, meaning the gold shield. So he made instead, in place of them, maginei, nechoshet, shields of copper or bronze. This word can mean either thing, nechoshet. So the gold shields, he replaced them with copper or bronze ones. Very, very sad. Vehifkid, and he entrusted, he caused to pakad, he caused to be appointed over yad sarei haratzim, the hand or the authority of sarei, the princes or the captains of haratzim, the runners. So these are the guys that are in charge of the maginei nechoshet. Ha shomerim, who protected, who guarded petach beit hamelekh, the entrance of the house of the king, right? Because that last word is definite in that construct chain. We can make the whole thing construct. Let me mark that chain. I think this would be good to mark. Here we go. There we go. Right? So the very last word is definite, right? We have the here, the. Because of that, it imparts its the-ness to all the words in the chain, all the words in that construct chain. And because it's a chain, a construct chain, we try to say between each word, right? Okay. So this is why we have the petach, the entrance, the portal of the beit. That's from beit. Beit is house. Beit is house of hamelekh, the king. Any comments or questions? I hope the guys over in Derech Yeshua and Simchat Hashem found the new stream since the first stream bombed. We had to start a new one. So the link that I shared over there is not good. Oh, Tet, you had issues too. Yeah, issues over here as well. Computer being kind of demonic. All right, verse 28. Oh, wait, did I? Wait a second. I should read through this again. Okay. I'm going to read through it. This time you try to understand. Vayas hamelekh Rechavam. Then the king Rechavam made, or so he made, tachtam, tachet of literally under them, so in their place. This is the gold shields who were stolen. Maginei nechoshet, shields of copper or bronze. Vehifkid, and he appointed or he entrusted to, he handed over to, over yad sarei haratzim. Right, so another construct chain. Let's mark this one as well. Okay. So because it's a chain, we get to bring the Venus from ha here. So the yad, the hand or the authority of the sars, the princes, the captains of ha, the ratzim, the runners. Ha, who, that's just like asher, shomorim, or literally the protecting ones, the watching ones, the watchmen. Petach beit hamelekh. So the entrance of the beit, the house of melekh, the king. Bangkok Rolexes. All right. Verse 28, and this will be the last verse we do today. 1 Kings 14:28. Vayhei midei vo hamelekh. So it was. Oh, I should have made this orange, the mem here. Sorry about that. Let's be consistent. Okay, and that's, of course, from the word min, which I've been pointing out a lot lately. Okay. From day really means sufficiency of vo, of coming or arriving, hamelekh, the king. Beit Adonai, the house of Adonai. Yisrael. Okay, so the verb here is nasa. Nasa. You look, you can see the noon there. Noon. The noon has assimilated into the scene. That's why there is a schwa there. If you look, you see? There's a dagesh, a strong dagesh. So in ancient Hebrew it would have been presumably yin saum, but it became yis sa u. So they carried up they carried up them. What's the them? The maginei, the shields. They carried up the shields. Who carried the shields up? Who carried them up? Ratzim, the runners. Thank you, Mark. Glad to have you here. Veheshiv So this word is a little bit hard to recognize. It's actually from shuv, sheen, vav, beit. It's a hollow verb, right? And if you remember, when you have a hollow verb, that means the middle root letter is a vav or a yod, and oftentimes it will disappear. And that's what happened here. We're left just with the sheen and with the beit. Okay? So why is the yod here? That yod is part of the hifil form. When you jam a yod before the third root letter, and sometimes we also have a hay in the front, that's telling you it's a hifil. It's a hifil, right? A causative form. So shuv is return, and heshiv is to bring back, right? So the heshiv they brought back them. They brought them back el aleph lamed unto ta haratzim. Okay, ta is a rare word. This is it's like a shack that was used for storing stuff. That had they could lock it all up. So it's like a little place they could keep an eye on. So they really took good care of those copper shields after the gold ones had been stolen. So the shack of haratzim, of the runners. All right, let's read through one more time. This time you try to translate. All right. Vayhei midei midei vo hamelekh. So it was from the sufficiency of the king's coming, Beit Adonai, the house of Adonai, that's the temple, Yisa'um, that they carried them. Who carried the shields? Haratzim, the runners. Veheshiv'um, and then they returned them unto Haratzim, like this protected shack of the runners. So the idea is that they didn't stay up all the time decoratively as the previous maginei, the previous shields had. So the text is showing us what kind of a pauper state the kingdom was in. Bobby says, I love the way you teach biblical Hebrew as opposed the way they teach in the seminary. Thank you for that, Bobby. Baruch Hashem. I'm glad. Hope it sticks with folks. Hope it's fun to learn this way too. We're in the text, right? We're in the Word. That's the way to learn. In the Word, swimming in it. And then we can pick up the patterns as we go, yeah? You're very welcome, Harrison. All right. You all have a wonderful day. Thanks for sticking with me when we had the issues at the beginning. And I will catch you tomorrow for Koheleth, the book of Ecclesiastes. If you're new, Monday we have Judges, Tuesday is Exodus, Wednesday is First Kings, Thursday is Koheleth, Ecclesiastes, and Saturday is Deuteronomy. I will catch you guys later. Be happy. Have a wonderful day. Shalom, shalom.